This is rooted in the divine.
There's a feeling that most people were taught to misunderstand. They call it guilt. Sometimes it's not guilt at all. Sometimes it's the moment you stop abandoning yourself. I want to talk about that moment, not the loud moments, not the dramatic ones, the quiet ones, the ones where something inside of you just becomes clear. Most of us was taught to label discomfort as guilt. If someone is upset with you, you must have done something wrong. If someone is disappointed by you, you must have failed them. If something is felt, somehow it becomes your responsibility. And over time, your body starts reacting before you can even think about it. Tight chest, heavy stomach, that internal pull that says, fix it, go back, this is wrong. And we were told that's guilt. Sometimes that feeling isn't guilt. Sometimes it's conditioning. Sometimes it's the expectation that you will stay the same version of yourself that makes other people comfortable. Sometimes it's someone else's discomfort trying to find a place to land. And if you're the one who's always been the landing strip, the one who absorbs it, your body doesn't even question it. It just lands on you. And when something lands on you long enough, it starts to feel like it belongs to you. But it doesn't. But there comes a moment where something changes. You respond differently. You don't rush to fix it. You don't dim yourself to ease the situation. And almost immediately, that feeling shows up, that familiar pull, that voice that says, this is wrong. You should soften this. You should go back and fix this. But this time, you stay. You sit with it. Not to fix it, but to actually see what's there. And when you really look at it, you might notice something. There was no actual wrongdoing. There was no harm caused. There was no boundary crossed. The only thing that changed is you didn't give the access that you usually give. And that's when it becomes clear. That's not guilt. Guilt has a purpose. Guilt shows up when you violate your own values, when you cause harm, when something inside of you says, that's not who I want to be. That's real. That's useful. But this feeling that shows up when you hold a boundary, when you choose yourself, when you no longer participate in something that doesn't align, that's not guilt. That's the friction of change. That's the body adjusting to a new pattern. That's the space where someone else wanted access and did not receive it. And for a moment, your system tries to translate that discomfort into something familiar, something that you've responded to before, something that changes everything back to how it was. But you don't go back. You stay. You breathe. You let the feeling move through without assigning it a story that doesn't belong to you. And eventually, you realize something that changes everything. You're not feeling guilt. You're feeling the difference between who you were and who you are now. And that difference can feel strange. It can feel uncomfortable. Shit. Can even feel downright wrong. Sometimes that feeling you've been calling guilt is actually the waiting room for clarity. And if you can sit there with it without rushing to fix it, without going back, without abandoning yourself, clarity will meet you there.